One of my biggest questions I've had hit my emails is why are the railroads offering just insane amounts of hiring bonuses if it's such a great place to work? We're going to cover that. Here we go. Okay, so railroads such as BNSF, UP, Norfolk Southern are offering just an insane amount of hiring bonuses. And the big question is this: if the railroads are such a great place to work, why can't they hire and keep people? Well, if you ask them, the railroads will tell you it's because the job market's competitive. We can't keep people. There's not enough people working. In actuality, that's just entirely false. The railroads could recruit people. Problem is, they don't. And the only reason they're pushing for people now is because, well, they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar trying to cut the workforce and forcing one man crews. So if you look at these carriers, we're going to go over to UP and take a look. Over here, you can see that Union Pacific in some terminals is offering anywhere between $10 and $20,000. But at some of these other terminals, they're offering upwards of $40,000 to $50,000 just to come work for them. BNSF comes in second with a lot of really good offers, ranging from $5,000 up to $20,000. Those are really good offers. Now, as far as class ones go, CSX and NS are tied for marginally good but laughable, really, bonuses compared to UP and BNSF. Really, CSX, in my opinion, has dropped the ball, and I'm going to put NS at number 3, CSX at number 4. So, if all these insane bonuses is for such a high demand job, why can't they actually keep people? And the people they're getting, why are they quitting either during training or after training? Their retention levels are absolutely horrible. Again, you ask the railroads, they'll tell you, oh, hey, this just wasn't the job for them. They weren't qualified for it. You hear excuses except the real ones. And the number one reason why people are not staying around or even applying, number one, is the push for full automation and one-man crews. And this isn't something that just affects conductors. This affects carmen and track folks. All these people, there's some sort of automation that is being pushed on them in their crafts to replace and cut jobs. That's the name of the game. So why would anybody want to apply if they're just going to eliminate the job? They don't want to answer that one. Number 2, I would say working conditions. Working conditions in a lot of these railroads have gone to crap. They really have. Longer hours, less downtime, and in a lot of cases, you look at what people are saying, the safety conditions in some of these places is going downhill as well. Number 3, I would put the home life and work balance. Every one of these carriers has put out some sort of new points-based type attendance policy of some sort. And if it's not points-based, they've really tightened up the reins on their attendance policies with something new and modern to help improve crew availability. Well, these attendance policies have, in my opinion, gone over the line. And so that is making that's putting labor and these men and women in a position to where they're at work more than they are at home. Drastically so. Again, carriers will tell you different, but how about we listen to the people that are actually on the ground working? So the national spotlight was put on these carriers back, just a few months ago while we were going through our contract negotiations. And it really exposed a lot of the hypocrisy that was going on between labor and railroads. Up until that point, railroads had always said, they had always said, well, our guys just don't want to work. Not true. They would say things like, there's just no way our guys can be tired. The data doesn't support that. Well, we're data. And then they turn around and say things like, labor does not contribute to profits. Again, everything but admit fault on their own. And the fact of the matter is nobody really believes anything that they have to say. So the big question, elephant in the room, is why would anybody want to actually apply then? It's not the hiring bonus. I think that might catch people's attention on the job applications, but then people start asking questions. Why are they offering so much if people are knocking down their door to do this job? Why are they offering $50,000? People today are asking more questions, and they should, like the folks of, East Palestine. Ask questions, and ask questions about the questions you asked. Don't ever be content. Find your answers. I'll put the number one reason people are applying to the railroad: money and benefits. Both are arguably good. They're there. Nobody's denying that. I would have to say my close number two reason why people are applying to the railroad is a lot of these people just want to work on trains. They've always dreamed of working on trains, or gone, hey, that looks like a cool job. I might go do that. So with that said, I think that's kind of the number two group of person. The number three is the type of person that has done their research, figured out all this stuff, and gone, well, money and benefits is what I'm really after. I can handle the lack of work-life balance. I'll do it. And then I think the last ones, my low-ranked reason, is the people using this job as a stepping stone for something bigger. Maybe they want to try to get into management at a class 3. Maybe it'll look good on a resume. Maybe it'll get them into a different, manufacturing job, as a manager or a shift leader, something like that. Showing that you have time working for a class 1 railroad does look good on a resume. To wrap all this up, the biggest reasons they are having trouble keeping these people from applying to this job or retaining them is PSR and the massive management disconnect and discontent towards labor. Railroad work is no longer the job nor environment that you hear or have heard people talk about. I know when I applied, it took me a long time because a lot of people had told me the only way I'm getting on with the railroad is if somebody dies, retired, get fired. That used to be it. And it used to be that you had to know someone, either family or in management, who also at that time always came from the craft, to get in. You had to have that kind of reference. That's not it anymore. Their focus is a warm ass in the seat, somebody that won't question things. Railroads don't like it when they get questioned. And sadly, workers are no longer recommending this job to their friends, their family, their children. They're just not. In all reality, they're actually discouraging people. And you can't really blame them. The reason most people are still here is because they either like the work or they're close to retirement. I personally like the work. I am far from being close to retirement. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Catch you on the next one. Also, hit the like and subscribe button down below and go check out Between the Rails. We fired up the podcast again. See you on the flip side. Be safe.